It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
Welcome. It is indeed Road to World Cup. And the Road to World Cup is getting ever shorter because we are now, as of this week, into double digits. It is less than 100 days until we kick off the finest football festival on the planet. My name is Nick Britten. I am your host as always, and indeed as always, I'm joined by my faithful colleague, my old hound, Mr. Ken Davies. Hello, Ken Davies. How are we?
Hello, Nick Britten. I'm very well. We haven't done this for 2 weeks, have we?
No, we missed a week. We missed a week because we've both been away working. Ken's been in Valencia, and I have been in Edinburgh. That's beautiful, beautiful city. One of my favourite cities in the world.
Beautiful cities. Should be twinned. They're beautiful. Both beautiful cities.
Yeah, so we had to miss a week last week because we've both been away, beavering away, working hard, but nonetheless, well, I've been working hard. I don't know about you, mate. From what it sounds like, you're on a bit of a jolly.
I was on a bit of a jolly. Anyway, yeah, it is getting shorter, but it's getting more complicated.
It is. It's getting very more complicated. Very bad English to start the day. Yes, it's getting more complicated because of what's going on in Iran. We're going to talk about that in a little while. So on today's pod, we're going to look at today's the World Cup news, and that's dominated, of course, by events in the Middle East. Specifically, we are going to keep it football related. I'm not going to allow Ken to go off on one of his political rants like he did the other day, a couple of episodes ago. We are going to keep this football related, but the football news is very much, of course, that Iran's participation in the World Cup is very much in doubt. Very much in doubt. So we're going to have a look at that. We're going to have a look at a couple of other bits of news, and then we're going to dive into Group B, have a look at what is going on there, how preparation is going on in Group B for the teams in that, and then, of course, we have Kenny's quiz to finish off everybody's favourite time of the week. Ken, he's back onto a pretty bad run of form.
Yep.
So let's hope that continues. We start as we always start. And I'm delighted to say that since Ken went away, I'm a bit sorry that he's back, and I'm waiting to see what he's going to tell me in just a moment. Derby have been doing very well, and we've won a couple of home games that you haven't been at, I don't think. So
I'm there today, though.
Well, can you just not go?
Jeff Wednesday at home. I mean, what's the worst that can happen?
We can lose.
Victory?
Yeah, we can lose.
Jeff Wednesday. No, Jeff Wednesday are dreadful.
I know, but
I've seen him. I saw him at Wrexham. They were dreadful.
They outplayed you at Wrexham, though.
They won. It was 2-2. We were 2-0 up at half time. And then Barry Bannon decided to wake up. And Barry Bannon just pulled every string in the book. If books have strings, they don't, obviously. And he was absolutely masterful performance in the second half. But he doesn't play for him anymore.
No, he's gone to Millwall. And so, yeah, but it's just very Derby.
No, a chance.
We
not
spent
a
all
chance.
This
Derby
season...
are terrible, but they're not that terrible.
We're not terrible. We're not terrible at all. We have shown a little bit of a pattern this season of losing to teams who are on a very bad run. So allowing teams to end their bad run by coming to Pride Park.
It'll be a fascinating game, actually.
It will be a fascinating game. It's one
if Derby don't get 3 points out of this, forget the playoffs.
If Derby get 3 points out of that, I'm not going again this season. I've had it. Which of course isn't true, because of course I'll go next week. Okay. But it's one of those that I'll be. You go along to these games, and we all support teams where we go along to games going, we should win this, but there's always that jeopardy whereby
they're winning this.
It'll be absolutely humiliating.
I was talking to someone at work yesterday, and they were saying, "You've got a Derby season ticket. Why have you got a Derby season ticket when you're a Wrexham supporter?" So I explained to him all about that. And he says, "Are you glad you got a Derby season ticket?" And I said, "No, it's the worst investment I ever made." And he says, "What? Don't you go to many games then?" I said, "No, because I go to all the games." That's why it's the worst investment I've ever made.
Let's not forget the reason you said at the start of the season, I'm buying a season ticket at Derby. I've got a season ticket at Derby because I'm a lifelong Derby County supporter. You've got a season ticket at Derby because you said Wrexham were now in the Championship and you wanted to go and watch the other teams in the Championship.
I did, and I have enjoyed it from that perspective. But I'm telling you, Derby are shocking. Anyway, at home,
we're only one place below you or 2 maybe in the
or
league. We're only
4, maybe,
I don't know.
or 6 points. We've won more games than
I
you. We've
see.
lost less
I
games than
see.
you.
Right.
We've
I
scored more
see.
goals than you. We've conceded less goals than you, and we're 6 points ahead of you. I think that makes us better.
At the moment, but as we've seen in the Championship, things change on it. I see. So you're just getting cocky now, isn't it? It's just, oh, look at us. We're Wrexham and we're in the last playoff position.
Funnily enough, though, we're
Mate,
not playing.
Southampton are coming. Southampton are coming for you. They'll finish.
No. We're not playing today, though, in the Championship, aren't we? We being Wrexham.
Right, okay.
Because we're playing Chelsea in the FA Cup, 5th round of the FA Cup.
Oh, you're going to get so spanked. It's
At
going to be so.
Wrexham.
It's going to be so. You're going to get so.
What's your prediction for the Wrexham Chelsea game then? On Tonight TV, if anybody wants to watch it.
At least 18-0. You're going to get absolutely battered.
I don't think they're going to fancy it on a Saturday night in Wrexham. No one fancies
no,
it. No one would want to be in Wrexham on a Saturday night.
Least of all people who live in Wrexham. Yeah. Well, we're going to go and watch Sheffield Wednesday. By the way, if you're wondering what on earth are we talking about, and why is it such a ridiculous game, is because Sheffield Wednesday have already been relegated to League One. They're on -7 points. They haven't won a game since, I don't know, probably the last time they beat Wrexham.
Do you reckon, has any team ever finished on minus points before?
Yes. Oh, yeah. But I don't know whether they would have finished. I don't know. I just can't. I can't.
I don't reckon so.
I think they have, but I can't cope with it. Anyway, let's get on with the World Cup stuff.
Yeah. World Cup.
We'll report back. If I'm never do this podcast again, you'll know what's happened this afternoon.
Well, I'll see you next week, everyone.
On your own. Right. Iran. So Iran qualified at the earliest opportunity for the World Cup. I think you'll put me right on this, Ken, but I think this is their fourth World Cup in a row. They topped qualifying in round 2 in the group. They topped qualifying in round 3 in the group, which gave them at that stage automatic qualification. Lots of preparations are underway. Of course, now, given the events of the last few days, that participation in the World Cup is very, very much in doubt. They could be the first team ever to walk away from a World Cup at this stage. The teams did walk away in 1950, but that was a bit earlier in qualifying and was a very different world then, a different circumstance and all of that. So this is history in the making in terms of World Cup. Ken, is their participation in the World Cup at all possible, do you think?
Yeah, it is possible. I mean, some of the soundings that are coming out of FIFA seem to be, we're going to bend over backwards to make this happen. Donald Trump, to be honest, and which every time we'll mention him, has said he doesn't care if Iran are there or not, which I don't actually believe, but he's so he at least on the record is neutral about whether Iran play. So it is possible. I think it's
okay. Let me ask you.
I don't think it's likely.
Let me ask you this then. Would Iran want to play in a country that is systematically destroying their infrastructure?
No. It's that'd be like England playing in the 1940 FA World Cup final in Munich, wouldn't it? I mean, it's just not going to happen if it continues. The only way it really continues is if there's a regime change in Iran, really. If we're not going to get political, but I think that's the only situation where it will. If the current regime is in place in Iran, I just can't see it happening. Which is a pity because, Iran are there on very much on merit. They're ranked 20th in the world. This is not a little, unimportant footballing nation. This is a very big footballing nation. It would be a tragedy for Iran and for the World Cup if they didn't play. It's just very, very difficult to see that happening. I think FIFA wanted to. I don't think America are going to make it easy, and I just don't think Iran would want to. I mean, Iran wouldn't feel safe doing it. I don't think so, and it wouldn't be.
It's not. Yeah, I mean, you're right. There's all sorts of security issues.
Yeah,
but also there is just, as I say, there's a. What does this look like? You know what? They're a very proud nation
who love their football. And they'd be devastated if they didn't play in the World Cup. Because the World Cup isn't owned by America. The World Cup is owned by the world.
Well, yes and no, because this time round, and this is kind of my point in many ways, this time round it feels very much like it is owned by America. and they are calling the shots, and they are calling FIFA's shots as well as their own shots.
Yeah, Infantino then has been saying he wants it to happen, but
yeah, but yes, I know that. But to be honest, who's pulling Infantino's strings?
I thought you were.
And what they are saying, what they're saying publicly is what. Well, I'll ask the question: is what they're saying publicly what they mean privately?
Look, if I was in FIFA, at the moment I'd be looking at what the plan B is.
Okay.
I don't think Iran will be there. What's the plan B? And the plan Bs, none of the plan Bs are particularly good.
Well, I was looking at this. Now, it's a bit, there's no really easy answer to this, because the team that didn't qualify in round 3 at the expense of Iran, who did, if you're going to say, right, okay, let's look at when Iran qualified. They qualified in round 3, right? If take them out of the equation, the next best team was the UAE.
Yeah.
And they're still in it, in as much as they are in the, they were still in it at that stage. They got through to round 5, which was the shootout with Iraq to go see who goes into the
playoff.
FIFA Confederation playoff. I mean, the Asia qualifying, as we've talked about a lot, is very complicated. So Iraq, do you essentially, Iraq are the highest next team in Asia. So do you give Iraq essentially Iran's place at the World Cup and promote UAE to the playoffs? That's one way of potentially looking at it. Or do you just have a group of 3 in Group B? But I mean, that penalises the rest of the groups.
And not only that, it messes up schedules. It messes up TV rights negotiations. I can't see them just having a group of 3.
Do you open up another place for a confederation and just for the best performing qualifiers in the playoffs, so that you have got that team? I mean, it just does. There doesn't seem to be an easy answer. And I had a look, has this ever happened before? Well, in 1950, Argentina bailed out because it was in Brazil, and there was a lot of concerns with Argentina around what's going on in Brazil. Had a big dispute with the Brazil Football Confederation. But that was a bit earlier in the qualification, and it was a very different competition in those days. There's only 13 teams in it. And other teams, there were other teams withdrew at that stage. France withdrew, India withdrew because they were refused permission to play barefoot in the competition. And it was just a totally, you can't compare apples with apples when looking at that. So this is very much unprecedented. There's no precedent here set, because this has never happened before.
So, as we are the pundits, I think we should predict what will happen. Which essentially boils down to 3 things. Will Iran play in the World Cup? Yes or no? Who will replace them? Or will there be a replacement? Question 2. And secondly, if there is a replacement, or thirdly, if there is a replacement, who will that replacement be? So first question, we'll both answer it. Will Iran play in the World Cup, Nick?
Yes.
All right, I'll say no. Okay.
Okay, and I'm just going to justify.
Come on.
No, I'm going to justify it by, I think that if the answer is no, it means that the war has been going on by then for 2 or 3 months, and I don't think it's in anybody's interests, i.e. Iran's interests, America's interests, or indeed the global interests, to keep this dragging on at the level that it is dragging on. It is inconceivable that in 2 months' time, this level of warfare will still be as it is. I think everybody will start, and over the last sort of 48 hours, of course, there has been a little bit more of conciliation talk.
I think they've got till the end of March. Actually, I think if this is still going on in any kind of way by the end of March, it won't happen. I don't think it will happen. I don't think Iran will play. So will there be a replacement? Yes, because I don't think they'll play a group of 3 teams. Who will that 1 be? Right. Here's an interesting point, and this is where the collateral damage kind of comes in, because Iraq, nothing to do with this conflict. Their airspace is closed. They can't even get to play their intercontinental playoff against Bolivia, which is at the end of the month because they can't. They're supposed to be in Houston. They're supposed to be acclimatizing. They're supposed to be getting ready for that game. They can't. They're all over the place. Most of them are in. Many of them are in Dubai. They can't. They can't get together. They can't. So nothing to do with Iraq, but it's affecting Iraq. So my view, because Iraq, if you like, have got furthest apart from Iran from the Asian Confederation. UAE are the highest in terms of global, in terms of ranking, but Iraq have got furthest. My view is it will be given to Iraq, and they will cancel the Iraq Bolivia Confederation game playoff game, and both Iraq and Bolivia will qualify. That is my prediction of what will happen. If Iran don't participate, Iraq and Bolivia will both participate. That's my view.
I think that's a very fair view, and I think that's actually that is a good answer. It's a good solution, and it's workable, it's doable, and it keeps the World Cup on track.
Iraq, all they have to do is change the letter N to Q. And it's solved. No one need know anything else about it.
Well,
I mean, what a simple system that is. Just changing one letter of the alphabet, sorted. Thanks, Donald. Well, yeah, checks in the post.
Very good. Okay, well, we'll keep an eye on that. We'll keep an eye on that as we move on and see what happens. But of course, we're all hoping for an early end to hostilities.
Correct.
Now, interesting and a bit of a surprise in brackets, but was it? But less than 100 days before the World Cup starts, the Moroccan coach Walid Reguigi has walked out of the Moroccan camp and the team and the federation, and he's quit. Now, this is an extraordinary move so close to the World Cup. It's very rare. I mean, sometimes you see managers get sacked, but it's very rare that a coach leaves a team that is pretty fancied, a team that is going to host the next World Cup, and a coach that's very well respected and, let's face it, was doing a very good job. What's your take on this, Ken?
This is a massive mystery, a huge mystery. And there must be something going on here because
okay, well, thanks for that insight.
No, but there must be, and let me explain why I think there must be. I mean, let's just look at Reguigi's stats. 70% win rate with Morocco, won 35 out of 50 games. That takes a lot of doing over 50 games. He's taken them from 22nd in the world rankings to 8th. They're 8th in the world ranking today, up 3 points most recently. Obviously, there's a lot of there's some pressure on him, obviously, after the defeat in the Africa Cup of Nations against Senegal when they lost that amazing, weird game where they all walked off the pitch, lost it 1-0. There was, though, by the way, quite a lot of grumbling in Morocco about his style of play. He's an ex-left back. I've got a theory that I think has been proven now without doubt, is that defensive managers play defensively and offensive managers who played in an offensive role manage offensively. They're more attractive to watch. So he was a left back, and the talk in Morocco is that it was a pretty turgid watch. But I would question the words "without doubt" when referring to your own theory. I think "without doubt" might be. No, I think you'll find it's now accepted around the world. That theory, so. By everyone.
I will certainly accept that you can be very offensive.
So he's done an amazing job, and the weird thing about his departure is, I mean, I just read a quote from him. The team now needs a new lease of life before the World Cup, a new vision to continue progressing. My decision to leave is part of this team's evolution. And the bloke has come in and said, I don't need to change anything. Everything's in place. And it's really, really, really odd. I can't hear you, Nick.
That's because I was on mute. The comments that he made were really, really cryptic. I think the team needs a new lease of life before the World Cup. This feels to me like everything was rumbling along quite nicely until that Senegal final.
Yeah.
And the fallout and the stress and the strain of everything that happened in that AFCON final has taken its toll.
Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely
that's what it feels like to me, because up until
like
then they had a very good tournament. I think you are right. There is a bit of grumbling. People say that he doesn't make the best use of his attacking players, and he's got some very good attacking players, but nonetheless, and there was quite a bit of moaning that and this kind of goes back to your, yes, it's an amazing win rate, but he chose kind of only in the run up to AFCON to play terrible teams in the run up to it. So some low ranking teams in order to keep that unbeaten run going, in order to keep that win rate high.
He got him to the semi-final of the World Cup last time. I mean,
yes, I know. I know. Listen,
I
think he's done an amazing job. I think he's done an amazing job. They've got friendlies coming up with Paraguay and Ecuador in March, later on this month, and I think that will be very indicative of where they're at, because Paraguay and Ecuador are very good teams. So the only sort of change, if you like, the only thing you can pinpoint is what happened in that final and the stress, after it.
Do you think it's very much a personal decision, saying, "Look, I just don't want to cope with this. It's just a bit too much for me"?
Yeah, I think probably there's an element of that.
Yeah, interesting, because of course
he may have just been totally burnt out by it.
Yeah, it may well have been burnt out by it. I mean, that's an interesting point of view. I mean, Morocco are obviously gearing up for 2030, and where they're going to host it with Spain and Portugal. And Morocco are investing billions in sports infrastructure, billions and billions. They, by the way, and an aside on this, and I wasn't aware of this, and our viewers may not be aware of this. They want the final in Morocco. They are building the Hassan II Stadium. It will be the largest football stadium in the world. What's its capacity, do you reckon?
Well, okay, so
it's not as much as you think, but I don't know what you're thinking. So.
Yeah, you don't know what I'm thinking.
You might be thinking 12. I don't know, like a little cinema or something. But no, it's much bigger than that.
So it'll be bigger than Wrexham. Right. What does Wrexham hold? It only holds about 10,000.
Stop it.
Tiny little place.
Stop. Move on.
Ramshackle. There's a couple of massive stadiums in South America that still hold about 120,000, I think. So I'm going to go for 135,000 people.
No, it's smaller than that. It's 115,000.
I wasn't far away.
No, far away. No, but Nick's quiz, you got no I want. It's so 115 seated. The biggest stadium in the world. It's going to be completed in 2028. Morocco's throwing billions at the World Cup and football. I can't help thinking this is going to bite them hard. Okay, it sounds like it's his decision to walk away. Certainly, everything coming out of the Moroccan FA would indicate that they consider him a legend and things like this.
Yeah. Well, look at who they put in place.
Yeah, this is.
They promoted the under-20 coach. It's not like, oh yeah, next day, Carlo Ancelotti arrives or something like that. It's the under-20 coach has taken charge, which means it signals that the Moroccan Federation, the FA, was caught totally unawares by this.
Yeah. He's never had a senior team to coach. The guy's taken over. Now,
this is Mohamed Ouabi, by the way.
Yeah.
So is he going to? Do you think he's going to be in charge for the competition, or are they going to look to get somebody else in?
Ouabi, the new coach. Yeah, he'll be responsible for the World Cup. I think it seriously affects Morocco's chances.
I think it does as well. I mean, they're in a group with Scotland, Haiti, and Brazil, and Scotland particularly. I think we'll be looking at this and going, ooh. Hang on. There's a chance here.
Yeah. I think Morocco. I had Morocco as really going to cause a bit of an upset at this World Cup. I thought they were going to be really good and scare a lot of teams, and actually progress quite a long way. I just think this is taking all the wind out of their sails, and it's a pity, really, because I wanted Morocco to do well, because I want Morocco to be good when it all happens on their turf or sand or whatever it is.
Yeah,
So,
it's a funny one. I mean, there is a suggestion I was reading in the aftermath of all this. There is a suggestion that, and we talked about this at the time. They were under such pressure to win AFCON. It was kind of win or bust.
yeah.
And there was a lot of criticism during the competition, essentially saying referees were giving them easy decisions and this, that, and the other. And a suggestion that since the failure to win the final, and of course everything that went along with it, the Brahim Diaz penalty and all of that, the relationship between the coach and the media and the FA has just become a little toxic. It's just become a little bit, it's just sort of broken down a little bit. So that just might feed into it all.
Yeah, it's an interesting because this was trailed, this story. I saw this story about a week ago and it was only announced yesterday. And so people were saying he's definitely leaving, and it was never confirmed. In fact, 3 times the Moroccan FA denied it. So it sounds to me that the Moroccan FA were really trying to change his mind. Said, let's not announce anything. Let's just talk about this. But eventually, it sounds to me like it was his decision. He's walked away, and he's doing it for, well, let's say personal reasons. He doesn't want to do it anymore. I don't think he's got a job lined up or anything like that. I just think he's walking away from football for a while.
We'll see. If they get tanked in the next 2 friendlies, what odds are him coming back in about a month, 6 weeks' time?
High, I would say, really high. But it's unlikely they will. It's unlikely they will get tanked. I think they'll. So I suspect the new guy will be in charge in the World Cup, and I think it will seriously affect Morocco's chances. And what about the players? The players must feel like let down a little bit about that.
Yeah. Okay, we'll see. We'll keep an eye on those friendlies, see how they're getting on. Right. In just a moment, we are going to have a look at Group B. Ken, before that, a word from our sponsors, if you would.
Yeah, because the Road to World Cup 26 podcast has partnered with Bionic, the world's most personalised supplements, because your body is unique. And if you don't take exactly what your body needs, if you just take off-the-shelf supplements, you might not be getting enough of the nutrients you need, and maybe too many of the ones you don't need. So Bionic provides 100% tailor-made supplements specifically designed for your body. Delivers precisely what you need at exactly the right levels. So click on the show notes. You'll find the link. Click through there. You'll get 50% off your first order.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.
You're a bit slow there, Kenny. You're a bit
slow.
What
caused that glitch? You know what caused that glitch? Do you ever do this? I've got 2 mice, okay? I was trying to move the mouse on this computer with the mouse attached to the other computer. And I was wondering why my little cursor wasn't moving.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, if you're watching this on video, what you'll see there is Ken hold up his one computer mouse and one real mouse, and he was clicking on the real mouse on his head, wondering why the sting wouldn't play.
So I couldn't. My cursor was just sitting there, and I'm thinking, but I'm moving. My hand's moving, but nothing's happening. And it's
I think you feel that quite a lot.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Right. Yes, this is Road to World Cup 26. Do get in touch with us on email, roadtoworldcup26@gmail.com. We're delighted to hear from you. It's always nice to hear your thoughts and your views. You can watch us on YouTube, obviously. You can watch us on Spotify video, Apple video, and all of that. So yeah, get involved. Right, we're going to have a look at Group B. Canada, Qatar, who else? I was also
Switzerland.
Yes, I did exactly what you did then. I moved my mouse and I was on the wrong computer. Switzerland and AN other. We don't know the other. It's
UEFA Path A.
Path A, isn't it? Yeah. So they've got. Well, you'll tell us all about that. But we think Italy are going to win that at the expense of Wales and Northern Ireland and somebody else. But you're going to come to that in just a moment. Right. Okay. Just because Wrexham are doing well, he's now going to say Wales are going to win, isn't he? Right. Here we go. Let's start with Canada. Ken, anything? I've got a sense of Canada are feeling a little bit unsettled at the moment. They've got a lot of injuries going on to key players. One of their main players, who has been, that's Alphonso Davies, has been a year out with an ACL, has only just come back, but he's got a muscle tear. And they've got a couple of friendlies coming up, obviously, at March, and it looks like they're going to take an enormous squad. And Jesse Marsh, the manager, is still fishing around, looking for players and looking to work out. They still don't have a determined number one. So they still kind of can't work out who's going to go in goal. And it feels like their preparations are a little bit, as I say, unsettled at the moment. But what do you reckon?
I don't expect great things from Canada. They're very thin on the ground, and you get the impression that they're getting more thin rather than more fat, if you get my drift, in the sense of injuries is playing a role. When you've got that sparsity of talent, injuries really hit you hard, and I think Canada are in that situation. They're ranked 27th in the world. Problem is, and this is a problem for all host nations, all they've done in the last 4 years is play friendlies. There's been no competitive games. I think that's really going to hurt Canada. I mean, their best group, their best efforts at the World Cup was group stages in '86 and in the last World Cup. They're just not going to make a mark on this. I think Canada is going to. I mean, obviously they're playing all the games at home. They're playing in Toronto and Vancouver. I just can't see anything. The best they're going to get out of this is third place.
Yes, I think third place is realistic, and you never know with third place in this World Cup. Third place might be good enough. It'll be extraordinary if they get through to the knockout stages. But yeah, I think if I was Jesse Marsh, I would be really wanting to feel a lot better now, right here, right now. That I've got these players, they're fit. I know exactly who's playing where. There's arguments around where some of the players are going to play, and yeah, it's a bit of it just feels all a bit up in the air with Canada at the moment. I mean, the one thing that is settled, I think, is Jesse Marsh. He's very, very highly regarded. There's talks of giving him a new contract before the competition starts, so that will tie him into 2030. He's very well thought of. So that pathway looks nice and smooth. We'll get a better idea after these couple of friendlies. I guess if you're a player, I mean, interestingly, he held a training camp. Not many teams do this, but he held a training camp in January outside the normal international windows. So a lot of the European players couldn't make it, and the MLS season was off season at that stage. So some of the MLS players could make it, but it just gets a sense that he's looking around.
Yeah.
And still less than 100 days before the World Cup, the net is wide, and lots of players have got lots of chances. And I'm not sure at this stage of proceedings that should be the case.
No, that just indicates that they're pretty unsettled. There's only one game that matters really in this, I reckon. I mean, obviously Canada play the UEFA Path A first winner in Toronto. Next game for them is Canada against Qatar in Vancouver. That's the whole World Cup hinges on that match.
No, I agree.
And they win that, they'll get through. They don't, they may not.
So moving on to Qatar, what do you reckon? This is their second. It was the first time they've ever qualified for a World Cup properly. It's their second World Cup. Obviously, the first one was in Qatar last time, so they qualified as hosts. So they've got through. So well done to them.
Yep.
What do you reckon? I mean, they are the lowest ranked team in Group B, aren't they?
Yeah, 51st. Nothing to really indicate that they're going to be a threat in any major way. I mean, great to see them there, particularly after the only reason why they were at the Qatar one is because they're the host. No, I can't see anything exciting for them. They played Switzerland at this first game. Switzerland are going to batter them. Switzerland are a good team. Then they've got the big game against Qatar. Again, I mean, exactly the same as the Canadian scenario. There's one game that matters. Canada, Qatar is the game of the group because essentially that determines who's going to come third.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, in their favour, they've got. It's not like they're only here because Well, they hosted the World Cup last year, and they have done well since then.
Yeah.
They've done well. They won the 2023 Asia Cup. In their favour, they've got two very good forward players, and we know that the hardest thing to do in football, in that old cliche, but it's true, is to stick the ball in the back of the net. And where teams generally fail at international level is they don't score enough goals. They've actually got two very good players up top, Akram Afif and Almoez Ali. And if they've got a chance, it's kind of those two, I think.
Yeah.
It's those two. Can you get the ball to them? Can they score? They've also got a very experienced manager in Julien Lopetegui.
Yeah,
Who was obviously we know from his time at Wolves and West Ham here in the Premier League. Very experienced, very good coach, knows his way around. They'll need it. They'll need that experience. It's going to be a tough ask, though, isn't it?
Yeah, massively. But put it in context, though. They're very much a team in the ascendancy. I mean, I'm just looking at the world rankings now. Back in 2018, not that long ago, they were 103rd, and now they're 51st. So they're kind of they're definitely rising up the ranks. So they're not pushovers. In fact, interesting game against Canada. I mean, I would fancy Qatar above Canada, quite honestly. In terms of, even though they're ranked lower than Canada, I just don't think Canada are competitive enough at the moment. I think Qatar will beat them, but I think that's as far as it'll get. They'll be, both of those teams will be in third place, and they'll probably get knocked out in the next round.
Okay, on to Switzerland then, who are the highest ranked team in the group.
Maybe the highest ranked team in the group.
Well, they are at the moment.
At the moment,
because we don't know who else. We're going to come to that pathway in a minute. What are your feelings about Switzerland?
I like Switzerland. I like Switzerland as a nation. I like watching them. Everybody thinks, oh, little Switzerland, look at them, oh, and then they're really competitive. I mean, I'm a great fan of Granit Xhaka and players like that, and I think. I just think they're going to cause a lot of difficulty throughout. They're not going to win it. I mean, they've never got further than the quarterfinals. The quarterfinals was 34, 38, and 54. I mean, it's a long time since they did any serious damage at the World Cup. But they're just a very difficult, well-run, well-organised, settled team. Interesting comparison to Canada. It's got far more people, but this is a team that's always, the roles have always been well known. They've always executed it to a high degree of technical capability, and they've just had some good players playing in competitive leagues. So most of their players play in high European leagues. So I mean they're going to be a real force. They may well win that group. If they don't win it, they come in second. So yeah, I've got high hopes for Switzerland. I can see them progressing after the group stages to maybe round of 16. But I think that's about as far as it gets.
Okay. My sense of Switzerland is neutral. Because yeah, I can't. Switzerland have always been politically neutral, and my sense of them is neutral. I can't really work out too much what they're about. They don't really excite me. But as you say, they're always there and thereabouts. They're always around, aren't they? They're always a team that when you say we're playing Switzerland, you go, oh, okay, that's good. And then when you play them, you go,
we could lose this. We could lose this.
Exactly.
We could lose this.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
Definitely. It's I mean, if England were playing Switzerland, I'd be like, we could lose this. Well, if I was having English out.
Yeah. So I don't know. I don't know. I think they'll. Well, say I'll win the group, but you don't think they are going to win the group. So let's have a look at pathway A then. And
interesting, because we're in the month now where all these things get settled, because it gets the semi-finals on the 26th of the 3rd. The final is on, I think, the 31st, something like that. Certainly it's going to get settled in March. Right. So the two semi-finals are Wales against Bosnia-Herzegovina in Cardiff. That makes a difference.
Oh, I can see where this is going. Yep, go on.
And then the other one is Italy against Northern Ireland in Bergamo, near Milano.
Just outside of Belfast.
No. So I fancy the two home teams.
Okay. Surprise.
So I think
I think you're right. To be fair, I think you are right. Yeah.
I think it's a Wales-Italy final. Where's the final being played?
I've no idea. You're the expert on pathways.
Cardiff.
Okay.
Cardiff.
That's a bit unfair, isn't it?
Well, no, because
They're not
actually,
being played in a neutral ground like
no.
Switzerland.
If Bosnia-Herzegovina win against against Wales, the final is in Zenica in Bosnia-Herzegovina. Okay. So Wales and Bosnia-Herzegovina have the final. So they are if you like, they're the priority teams in relation to that. So if Wales beat Bosnia-Herzegovina and Italy beat Northern Ireland, which I think will happen because they're both the home teams, the final is in Cardiff. Wales v Italy. Imagine Wales v Northern Ireland. Wales v Italy in Cardiff. I think Wales are getting through to the World Cup.
I fundamentally disagree with you.
Okay.
I think Wales have peaked a little bit, and they're on the downward bit of their peak. They had some really good form a couple of years ago, and I think Italy are getting better. I mean, they've been classically disappointing for the last few years, Italy, and they are, I think, on the upward sort of movement. And I would just expect Italy to win.
Yeah, but you're thinking about this about the Italy of 1992.
No, I'm not. No, I mean, I'm not. They're not great, but it's Wales, and it's not like it's saying right. You've got to go and beat Argentina in Buenos Aires to get through to the World Cup, is it? It's you've got to go to Cardiff and beat Wales, and it's doable. I think they're the best team in it, Italy, and I would expect them to win.
They're ranked 13th in the world. They're ranked 13th in the world, so you know they're seriously they're a force, aren't they? But you know it's not, they're not on an upward trajectory. Italy, far from it. I mean, they were fourth in the world in 2020.
Yeah, we know that. Yeah, we know the troubles they've had and all that kind of stuff. So
I fancy Wales against them. I think it'll be massive. Imagine now. The thing is, if Wales get through against Canada, Qatar, and Switzerland, guess what?
Yeah, they'll come.
They're getting through the group.
No, they're not. They'll finish third.
Wales are winning the World Cup. Everyone.
I knew. You've been too
proof. I just proved it.
No, you haven't proved anything. It's like your managerial theory. None of your theories are proved.
I'll stand up to the test of
So I'm going.
scrutiny.
Listen, yeah, I'm going Italy, and I'm going Switzerland, Italy to get out of that group.
Yeah, I think whoever wins UEFA Path A and Switzerland will get through.
Interestingly, despite everything you've said about Switzerland, I've had a look at the betting odds.
Yeah.
And I looked at 4 bookies, albeit here in the UK, so there's something in that. But all 4 had the favourites to win that group being whoever wins Pathway A.
Yeah, I think that's absolutely true. But if it's Wales,
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. I don't think if Wales get through, then I think Switzerland will top.
Yeah, I think that would be right. And if Italy get through, I suspect Italy will win it. Because Italy at the World Cup is just Italy at the World Cup, isn't it?
I just love Italy at the World Cup. Maybe it's just my romanticism.
Everybody
loves
Italy. Italy's just the best country in the world, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it's a great country. It's a great country, and it's like we've said before, a good Brazil. We always want a good Brazil at the World Cup. I always think Italy should add a lot to the World Cup.
Yeah. I agree. I agree with that. So that's Group B: Canada, Wales, Qatar, and Switzerland.
Very good. Very good. Okay. Let's finish the podcast. All the pipes out already. I haven't even got there. To introduce the final segment.
I think that's where I've been going wrong. I haven't been sucking on my pipe long enough before answering the questions.
Okay. Well, suck away, my friend. Mm-hmm. It's time for everybody's favourite time of the week. It's Kenny's quiz. Do play along at home. Shout out the answers. And Ken's on a very bad run of form, which I always like to see. But I always
Did I get none out of 3 last time?
Yeah, you get none out of 3.
Not today.
I think you got 1 actually. Did you get 1?
Oh, maybe
1 out of 3 is your kind of as you like to say it, return to the mean.
Yeah, it is.
1 out of 3 is about where you're at.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. I was looking at some of these questions and I'm thinking, I hope I haven't asked these before.
I hope you have.
But when
I still got them wrong.
So there's a question on Group B says, a question on Qatar, a question on Canada, a question on Switzerland. And when I looked at the question on Canada, it reminded me of something, Ken. It reminded me that the question I asked you last time was about the national animal of Canada.
National animal me. Do not national animal me ever again.
But the answer that you got wrong, the answer is what? What's the national animal? It is the beaver, yeah. It is the beaver. So we nicknamed you the beaver for a few weeks after that. That's not going to be in today's quiz. So Right, let's go to Qatar first of all. And question one, the question about Qatar is this. What's the national animal of Qatar?
No way.
No, it's not.
No. It'd be the Qatarian shrew, wouldn't it? Some bizarre animal. The camel. I don't know. The scorpion. I don't know. That's not the question anyway.
Well, if it had been the question, you might well have got it right. Because it is the Qatarian shrew. No, it isn't. No, it might be. I don't know. Anyway, right. Qatar.
Yeah.
Which is the only country that shares a land border with Qatar? Remember, shout it out if you know the answer. Ken's thinking. I think he knows this. He's thinking about it.
I'm going to say Saudi Arabia.
Saudi Arabia is the right answer.
Yeah.
He's off to a flyer.
Retire. Can I retire there one at 100% record?
Please do, mate. I'll get somebody else to do the podcast. That would be great. Right, well done. Big day. This could be a big day.
Come on.
Right, Canada. How many time zones does Canada have? This is a great question, by the way. This is a great quiz question. How many time zones does Canada have?
4.
Oh, it's gone for 4. Oh, incorrect.
It's not 5, is it?
No, keep going. It's 6.
6 time zones?
They've got 6 time zones in Canada. Yeah.
Oh, God, never got that.
Close, though. Not bad, mate. Not bad. 1-1.
6?
All to play for.
Do you have more than America, then?
Just answer the question.
Oh.
Okay. Now, I'm not going to lie. Okay, I'm not going to lie. I've got 2 questions here.
Okay.
On Switzerland, both related questions. And I was going to see how you were getting on in questions 1 and 2 as to whether I'd ask you the harder or the easier question.
So when I've got 1 out of 2, what are you going to do?
I don't know. What do you think? What would you like? Would you like the hard question or the easy question?
Easy. And if I get the easy one, you can ask me the hard one.
Okay. So the easy question is, what is the most widely spoken language in Switzerland?
Wow. That's a great question and a difficult one. I would say it's between German and Italian. And I would therefore say German.
The right answer. He's won it. He's won the quiz. 2-1. Kenny's back. Well done, mate. So the other question was, which I think is slightly harder, although to be fair, you've half answered it. You've done a good job here. What are the 4 official languages of Switzerland? What are the 4 official languages of Switzerland?
French, Italian, and German.
Yannick would know this.
So French, Italian, and German. It's really what the 4th one is, and it's probably going to be some Swiss Swiss language, Helvetican or whatever they call it.
It's just a font.
I suspect Switzerland. Where is it based?
Europe.
Mate, if you don't know, French, Italian, German. French, Italian, German, English.
Okay, French, Italian, German, and Romansh.
Romansh. Yeah, Romansh. Of course. There are 4 people speak Romansh in the whole world. Nobody speaks Romansh. Not even in Romansh. Can
I remind you, Ken, that in our last podcast, you said you were going to do this entire podcast in click language.
But I can't because the microphones don't pick it up, do they?
No, I couldn't hear it when you were doing the last
but you know, thing they do in South Africa.
Yeah.
The microphones don't pick it up. Which is, imagine if you're doing a podcast in click language. No one will understand any of it. You wouldn't hear any of it.
No, well, you would if you understand click. You would if you understand click language.
No, because one of the clicks don't come through the microphone, do they? They don't. So honestly, I reckon there must be special click language microphones.
Well, they'll probably still understand it more than they understand you and your normal.
Romanche. I can't believe you've never heard of Romanche before, had you?
I speak quite a lot of Romanche. Usually when I've had 10 pints.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that makes sense.
Right.
But, yeah,
okay.
There you are.
Well done, mate. 2-1.
I think I did all right.
Yeah, you've won the quiz this week. Well done. Congratulations.
Great stuff.
Good work. Right. Okay. That brings us to the end of this week's episode. So thank you very much indeed for listening. As always, we've got lots of exciting stuff coming up in the next 2 or 3 weeks. We've got knockout playoff games. We've got friendly games as squads make their final choices. We've got all sorts of things.
Yeah, and we've got Group C to look forward
to. We've got Group C to look at. I'll tell you what else we've got to look at. We didn't do it in the news this week because I'm not convinced it's a news story yet, but it might be a news story by this time next week. And that is Cristiano Ronaldo's done his hamstring.
Yeah.
And I don't want to do a story saying, oh, he's going to miss the World Cup or it's good. Because the signs are that it's not a major one. But this time next week, I'm going to address it and see kind of where we are with it. Because if actually it looks more serious than it is, and he's had to fly back to Portugal or Spain or somewhere to get it looked at, but that's quite normal. That's not unusual. But if it's a grade 1 or 2 tear, then that becomes an enormous story. But I didn't want to get the cart before the horse this week.
No, exactly. But it massively will affect.
Yeah, we'll have a look. So the word should be clearer next week as to the state of that injury. But until then,
no, 2 things I want to mention before we clear off. Firstly, obviously that thing in Boston's still rumbling about in Foxborough, the stadium. No, they still haven't sorted out paying for the stadium security. That's something that's still a live story.
So that's 2 weeks ago since we started talking about that.
Still not solved. Okay. And so that's still rumbling around. Right. The other thing, obviously, if we're doing Group C next week, and this will be music to your ears, Nick, what teams are in Group C?
I've no idea. Not
all right. Okay, I'll tell you. Brazil, Morocco, Haiti, and Scotland.
Right. That is music to my ears.
Because I think you've been talking to someone in Scotland about their chances.
Yes, I'm getting a journalist on from Scotland to talk about their chances. So let's try and get him on next week then, shall we?
Yeah, we'll try and get him on next week, and that'll be a part of our Group C roundup. So
yeah, we can do the we can do that. And I mean, he is dual nationality, so he's Scottish and Italian. So you can talk about both. You can talk about Scotland's chances and Italy's chances at the same time.
Grazie mille.
Mille grazie. Right. Thank you very much indeed for listening. Ken, it's been a pleasure, mate. I'll see you at Pride Park later on.
Yep.
And
I'll give you a wave.
For the first time this season, you're predicting a Derby win. So
3-0.
Really.
Okay.
We'll see. And until then, my friends around the world, thank you very much indeed for joining us. Look after each other. Look after yourselves. Goodbye.
Bye-bye.
It's the Road to World Cup 26 podcast, your deep dive into everything FIFA World Cup every single week. Part of the Global Sports Podcast Network.